I may have gotten the props mixed up last week in terms of Petrino winning by submission and not by knockout, and then Jesus Aguilar winning by knockout and not by submission. It's always shitty when it ends up that way. And I remember making a small promise to myself back in the day when Tyron Woodley ended up submitting Darren Till instead of knocking him out, and I obviously played him by knockout that night, that I'd only take the inside the distance, but I got a little bit greedy. I wanted to get that little extra bit of squeeze on those specific method props, and we end up going 0 for 3 on the props. Obviously, Robert Whittaker getting knocked out by Duplessis, so we're not able to cash that prop either. And that's back-to-back weekends of getting reverse swept on the 3 best prop bets, and that's not the way we go about it. Obviously, 3 for 3 is the goal. I'm happy with 2 out of 3, and at worst, 1 out of 3. We're hoping to notch one of those this weekend. Again, quick plug for the MMA Fight Archive. Over 40-plus signups over the last 2 months. We got CFFC, KSW, and Fury FC all posted for this weekend's card. If you enjoy doing your own research, analysis, and breakdowns, and you're looking for the quickest and best way to do your research, the MMA Fight Archive is the exact place for you to do that. We got fighter profiles. We just surpassed 1,700 fighter profiles now with direct links to past fights of all these fighters. So it's kind of what you would want Tapology to be in a perfect world. I get it's a very difficult task for Tapology to stay on top of record keeping and then adding links to every single fighter, but that's what we're doing for you guys. That's where you can find direct links to as many fights as there's possibly available from all corners of the web for every single fighter. The whole goal is to have every active fighter as of 2022 available on there for you guys to research at any point in time. Make sure you guys check it out. 7-day free trial available as well. Check it out. Link in the description below. All right, let's get right into the 3 best prop bets that we got for you guys this week. We're going to go with all 3 round props here. I'm getting a little bit dicey with it. I want to make a little bit of a hack into the record here. So we're hoping that at least if one of these comes through, I'll be happy. But let's see how it goes. First of which is the juiciest one of them all. Victoria Dudakova, round 3 plus 1,000, which can be found on BetMGM at that price tag. But I believe that this is a solid spot for her to go out there, utilize her grapple-heavy approach, and it might be a little bit close early against Estela Nunes, who's going to be the better striker here and will likely be faster in the early going. But if Victoria can, survive that early onslaught, drag this into deep waters, I think she's very live to get a finish in the 3rd round, similar to what Ariane Carnelosi was able to do in the past. Obviously, Yasmin Yarugui was able to knock out Estela Nunes in the 2nd round of their matchup, but I believe that this fight will be a little bit more of a slow grind, especially in that 2nd round as Dudakova, implements her dominant heavy approach with the grappling, and I expect it to come to fruition in that 3rd round. And at plus 1,000 odds, I feel as though it's worth a shot here. So give me Dudakova round 3 plus 1,000. Second prop we're going to go with is Terence McKinney to win in round 1 at plus 225. 17 out of 18 of this guy's career fights have gone under 1.5 rounds, and I believe 15 out of those 18 fights have never gone past the 1st round. He's gotten his hand raised in the majority of them, and I feel as though he can do the same thing here with the speed, explosivity advantage that he's going to have over Sadikov. Sadikov is a guy that can be caught and can be hurt, and don't let his undefeated records fool you. This guy, he's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's a guy that can avoid that early onslaught that McKinney can put on him. Now, you can be a little bit greedier if you want and go for the KO or submission prop, but I feel like McKinney is capable of doing either of those things, which is why I'd rather just hone in on the straight up round 1 prop, as that's his biggest win condition, is winning the fight early, and I feel like he can do that here against Sadikov. So at plus 225, Terence McKinney round 1, you can take my money. And the 3rd best prop that we got for you guys for UFC Vegas 77 is going to be Ottman Azaitar to win in round 1 at plus 250. I bet this specific prop back when he fought Khama Worthy. I wanted to make Khama, freaking Arabic fighter for some reason. But when he fought Khama Worthy, I played the exact same prop, plus 250, round 1, and it ended up coming through. I'm hoping that 2nd time I can do it once again, and we can repeat that prop here. We know what the case is with the Zaitar. Big knockout power, very explosive and fast in the early goings of fights, and that's how he's been able to keep his squeaky clean record, other than when he fought Matt Frivola last time around. Look for a big knockout power. Look for him to crash the pocket here against Why is it escaping me? Oh, Francisco Prado. And I think that the youngster from Argentina is going to be a little bit too cocky in the sense that he's been able to demolish all of his opponents on the regional scene. And now that he has a guy that's going to stand in front of him and scrap with him, unlike Jamie Malarkey, who took a more of a grapple-heavy approach, I think he's going to think that he's going to be the one that can get the knockout here. But I think it's going to be the veteran in Azaitar, or the UFC veteran at least, because I believe Francisco Prado has just as much, if not more, fights than Azaitar. But Azaitar obviously a little bit more UFC tested, I should say. I think Azaitar is going to be the one that comes out on top, and it's going to follow the trend of most of his wins, which is a round one knockout. So I'm going round one specifically at plus 250. And there you guys go, the 3 best prop bets for UFC Vegas 77. Once again, we got Victoria Dudakova round 3 plus 1,000. We got Terence McKinney round 1 plus 225, and Ottman Azaitar round 1 plus 250. Let's hope for one of these to come through, because it'll be great regardless. 3 of 3 would be great. 2 of 3 is a target. 1 of 3 is the worst case scenario. But even if one of them hits, that means there's profit regardless. Good luck on all your action this week, folks. And I will see you guys next week as we start previewing UFC London as the return of Tom Aspinall and him taking on Marcin Tybura, not to mention a bunch of other great fights as well. Peace. Have a great weekend. Later.